Alrighty, folks. Happy Monday to everybody. Trade Ideas live support, 12 Eastern here. Viewing the screen of Chris Varley, part of the support and education team here with Trade Ideas. As always, this is an open forum, so please get those questions in for me, and I'll be glad to answer those questions. Of course, nobody has any questions. Do what we can to keep this as informative and engaging as possible. So again, anybody with questions, don't be shy. Please get those questions in here for me. As I will often say, I cannot answer the questions that are not asked. So again, please get those questions in for me. Happy to help, happy to assist. Just need to have those questions to be able to do that. All right, looks like a slow going to start with here. Again, folks, don't be shy. Get those questions in for me. So again, folks, it's an open forum here. If anybody has questions, please get those in. It's a live open forum for Trade Ideas support. We're going to get you the most support and education that we can here with the platform. Ultra important that you folks get those questions in that you have. We are not mind readers here. We don't need to know what everybody needs or wants with that. Let's see, happy Monday. NMAX. My take, if it's crazy, would be to leave it. NMAX, but we'll take a look at it here. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't go anywhere near something like this. I don't know if it's an IPO or symbol change or de-SPACing or whatever it is. You know, like, what do you do with something like this? You know, it has candles on 5-minute charts that got $10 or more ranges on them. You know, I mean, it's a type of stock where if you took 500 shares on it, you could lose $1,000 on took 100 shares. You took 100 shares, you could lose, you know, $500-600 on 100 shares in a matter of seconds. So it's just not risk conducive for my kind of trading. There are folks that are trading it. They're probably, some are doing well, some are probably not. You know, that is what it is. But something like that, I'm not built for something like that, quite personally. You know, hindsight is 2020 with things like this. You know, someone could say, "Oh, but you know, look at how it's riding the top of the trade wave here," and you know, stuff like that. And, you know, there's no way to predict these kinds of things. And you know, if you buy here at, let's just say, for example, it's 46 on this candle, right? And you get shaken out down here to 39. Like, are you really going to sit in a stock that drops, $7, $8 like that in 5 minutes or less? It just, um, the realistic side of trading and having a trading plan, I could just never, I won't say never, but my account, I would never take that kind of risk. Not with my account. If I had an account that was maybe, I don't know, $10 million, for example, sure, why not? Then, taking a risk like that where I'm risking several $100s, right? In a case like that, and I could justify that risk reward. But I would need a massive account balance compared to what I have. And, not working in the hypotheticals. Yeah, definitely fun to watch. Very entertaining whenever I see these go on, without a question. I'll be honest, I had no idea it was going on today. I'm not even on the list here for races, but I do have a price cap, so it's got over the price cap. So I can't see anything. So it's got over the price cap fairly early in the day here. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see how it unfolds the rest of the day, as it looks like it has given up quite a bit right now. I'd also note this. I mean, look, 3.3 million shares traded on this thing, and the thing is up $48 from its opening price, right? So, I mean, that's pretty wild stuff. So it'll be interesting to see the rest of the day, and obviously tomorrow, I'm sure there'll be some kind of action in it, whether it's bullish or bearish. That would, of course, remain to be seen. And I guess, yeah, it looks like it's halted right now, as a matter of fact. So again, anybody with any questions, please don't be shy, get those in. When do you short it? When do you short it? When you think it's time to short it. That's whenever your trading plan says to short it. That's when you short it. You should have when you're looking to enter a position, you should have a well-devised plan that says this is the reason I get into a position, whether it's a long or a short, and then you would execute not only the entry of it based on your well thought out trading plan, but you would also then implement your trade management, be that stop and or target. And again, anybody with questions, please get those in for me pertaining to the Trade Ideas platform more specifically, but we can, of course, look at some charts too. Now, outside of those things here, had a retest of, nope. Had a retest of the prior lows here, took them out by a smidge, reversed on it so far. So we'll see where this all ends up for the day. But clearly we are in a bearish looking tape here. All-time high, all-time high, all-time high, and into a bearish tape at this point. We are in correction territory. Got a little ways to go before we hit a bear market. And we'll see what happens here. Can it make a bounce, or is this just going to flirt with this level here and this time break down on it? I suppose that is the $1 million question. Do we go with $10 million question now because of inflation? Would that be apropos? And so again, don't be afraid to get those questions in for me, please. So again, just waiting on some questions to come in. I mean, we could do a dive around the market, but I don't think there's anything that I'm going to share here that's groundbreaking. Qs are going to look much the same here. They've taken out actually by quite a bit. That prior low, they're looking even more bearish. This has been the worst couple of months for tech since the sell-off in 2022. We got that bear market. Diamonds, not quite as ugly as the rest. Still not very good looking. So, this is kind of one of those, especially for swing traders, a wait and see market at this point, because there's not going to be a whole lot of positions that are going to work. Swing trading wise, at least to the long side, you will have your outliers, HMY. That's gold miner here. That's looked all right for the last couple of days, but they're few and far in between on these kinds of charts right now. Sectors continue to look worse and worse overall. The IWM has to have given up 200 today, right? I'm guessing it has. Yep. Gave it up. Still under it. So again, not looking real good for the bulls at this point. But it's one of those things. As soon as they get it looking bad in one way, they'll snap you back the other, and vice versa. And it's always important to keep those things in context. But nope, doesn't look to anything special right now. Interesting to see what's on here. You got Philip Morris, so bust out the cigarettes, folks. This is natural gas and exploration here. These are items, stocks, ETFs that are up on the day and technically up over the last 20 days. Interesting what we got on this blotter here, because there ain't a whole lot. XOM is Mobile Exxon. I mean, we can see here, been a hot minute. It's coming back up into this area right here of resistance from last year. We'll see how that shakes itself out. And if we look here, the XLE is one of the green points on the day. And the IYK's consumer staples. Gold and gold's up, and we talked about XOP, and natural gas is up actually. It's, for the time being, seems to have found a bottom, interestingly enough, as we come into the warmer months in the northern hemisphere. So what's up, Mike C? What's happening? JYD, let's take a look. JYD. China stock. Interesting. Not a big float. Grinding along here, so all right, very interesting. Almost 4 million shares traded on it today. Good for 7 times what it's normally doing. So interesting look here. The Wayback Machine here. Hmm. Very interesting. What else can we look at here? Oh, MLGO. This thing has been on a march for a few days here, right? More China stocks, small float, 27 million on that. On the volume, sorry. 4.8, 4.5 on the float, 4.5 million. Yeah, interesting looking stuff. Where's China living these days on this? There's a K-Web. So K-Web looking a little wobbly here at this point. The FXI, a little bit of the same. Actually, I tried my hand in TIGR last week. Snuck out with just a couple of penny gain on it on a couple day hold. Let's see, bought it here, held it, and when we got up somewhere in here as it was selling back off, I sold it. So really just a few pennies on it. It had that look for 1 second that if maybe we were going to get a bounce in the overall markets, we had an overall positive reaction to earnings, but unfortunately, the markets decided something else overall. So that's the only real action I've seen in a hot minute here. HE is going to be your pharmaceuticals here, thinly traded, very thinly traded, but grasping at straws here, trying to find something positive to talk about as far as the markets go. And there ain't a whole lot of it. A lot of the damage is being done here in the XLK. There we go, Chris. Great job. This looks very similar to what the Qs look like overall. And I think we were to look at semis. Yeah, all the same. Whether we look at the SOXX or the SMH. Half a dozen in one and 6 of the other at this point with these tech stocks. So, well, we'll see, how much unwinding will be done on these at this point. And as we look at the position and range here for the year, seen a lot of red starting to creep all up this whole line here. And reverse it as well and go from the top to the bottom. Now, some matter more than others. Obviously, clean energy, nobody cares about that, but the SOXX is very important. Solar stocks just continue to look like just hot garbage, absolute hot garbage as far as solar stocks go. Nobody cares about weed stocks. But home builders, this is important, right? Home builders are looking pretty bad right now. We talked about this here. The technology and cloud computing had been on a nice run here from this point in 2022, not without some pullbacks in it, right? But overall, it had made a nice move, giving back quite a bit of that move from here to here at this point. So, we'll see what remains there. You're talking AI and all these digital mining, data mining, and all that stuff like that. Cloud computing caught a tailwind on it, being punished just the same at this point as well. So, what else is to look at here? I mean, we're still positive on the year on a few things, but the banks, they're starting to shake a little bit here. It's your regional banks. It's just the banking sector in general here. Now, with all that said, the XLF, where are you, XLF? Maybe somewhere here. XLF, there we go. The XLF is still, it's trying to hang on. It looks a little nicer. It looks closer to what the Dow chart looks like actually than the SPY, and definitely way off what the NASDAQ looked like here. So, you want to see the financials hold on. And unfortunately, I think there's a lot of news out there about tariffs and all that stuff like that. And when I say think there is, I mean, I know there's stuff going on with it. I don't pay attention to the news. I know people find that hard to believe, but it would be impossible for me to care less about the news than I do. What I look at is the charts and trends and volume and things like that. When we stop trending, I'm reducing positions, or if I'm entering a position and when we stop trending, I'm reducing size, at least when I say trending up. And when we start trending down, I'm not looking at a whole lot other than trying to make a shopping list as we go along to what's held up the most. And right now there's not a whole lot to look at, but things change in a day or two around here, right? The markets move in the way that they move, and we just got to sit here nimble, waiting for our chance to grab a piece of all that. So, a lot living in the middle here. Middle green, middle red. Jets. You want to see jets doing well. Usually, if these are doing well, we have healthy economies, whether just domestic and/or international. Obviously, this isn't looking great right now. EEM, that's emerging markets, right? There we go, emerging markets fund. I mean, from the bottom here to here, we're up, right? But we couldn't really break out at this point right here. Just barely eked above it before coming back under it. So I know there's a number of European funds that look good as of last week, but a day like today and a day like Friday, a day like today, the kind of days where the things that looked good don't look good all of a sudden, and it happens just like that. So again, anybody with questions on the software, I'd love to answer those in lieu of me just kind of randomly, aimlessly droning on about the market here. I guess let's play around, and it's tough to even do anything. It's tough to do bullish stuff in this market. Let's do something. Let's get a step out of my comfort zone. We're gonna make a scan for shorting. All right. And we're gonna back test and optimize it because nobody's asking anything, and I don't know what else to do with you all. So let's make a short scan. What alert do I want to use here? Let's see, what can we find? What alert do I want to use? Running down. Let's go with running down. I don't know if I've ever used that alert in a scan before. We're just going to step right outside and do some different stuff today than I'm normally doing. Let's get the price range here. And we're shorting stocks, so I don't know. Let's go with the $11. $11 minimum. We're not going to stick a maximum in here. Let's go with 3 on the relative volume. Want this thing liquid. I'm going to go with 900K. Let's go change from the open to max. Let's go with what we got to be at the open or below the open. All right. What else do we want to add to this here? You know what? I'm going to add a Bollinger Band. Let's go with the 5-minute Bollinger Band. No, I'm lying. Let's go with the 15-minute Bollinger Band. Let's add that filter. How do I want to do this? What am I thinking? What's that going to do? Let's go with 15 here. There we go. Yeah, that's what we're going to go with there. Let's get, what else could we do with volume? 3 times what it's normally doing over the last minute. What else? What else? Is there anything else I want to add to it for now? Maybe we just start here. No, I'm going to put a price cap on this thing though, because I want to keep it reasonable when we do this back test. Back into the filters here. I don't care about dollar volume, post volatility, shoot range. Position of open. I don't like consecutive candles. I don't know if there's necessarily anything else I really want in this. You know what? No, I'm not going to add that because I'm going to want to try to optimize and see if that has a positive impact. Thinking about a VWAP filter. No, I'm going to leave this for right now. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to leave this for right now, just like this. Let's press OK. Short optimized. Sure, why not? Let's go with that. All right, so we got that. Bring that over here. Let's just take a look. Sample size of alerts today. Good amount of alerts. Uh-oh, did I just close that? Where'd it go? Where did we go? There we go. Come on. Back to the screen. There we go. All right, let's back test this puppy. Let's not initiate any trades until, let's go with 9:50. I'm going to open this up on there. Timed exit. Let's go with a 15-minute hold time. I was looking to kind of bang in and bang out for the most part. See what happens. Risk management. Oh, I don't know. Let's see. Let's enable a profit target. Let's do this on percent. Let's go with a 15% profit. Enable a stop loss, and let's go with the 4% stop loss. And let's shoot this thing out 62 days. That's what we're looking at a max. And let's do it. Nope. Wrong button. We don't want to simulate buy. We want to simulate sell, Chris. There we go. Okay, nothing special looking. Average winner to loser 33 to 29. That's not good. 1,400 trades, so something to work with here. Let's look at that daily. Don't have a good enough spread between winning and losing days. Need to get some of these winners a little bigger looking. So, all right, let's head into the optimization tab here. First look at this based on price range. We can see that looks terrible here, but that is the bulk of the trades. But that's a $10 interval. What happens when we go with the $5 interval? You can really see, yeah, no, not looking good here for the home team on the smaller price stuff. What about time of day? Well, we don't want to be shorting stuff at the end of the day, and that's where a lot of the trades were coming from also. In fact, we don't want to be shorting stuff. Look like we want to be shorting anything after 1 o'clock in the afternoon like this. I'm going to go to the filters first before we mess around with some of these other things. I want to look at the VWAP. Where's that distance from VWAP 1? Let me find you. Find out about that one. Distance from VWAP 1. Interesting. Let's not go with $3% intervals. Let's start with 2. It doesn't help me a whole lot there. Let's break it. Whoops. Break it down. further. Yeah, this doesn't really do a lot for me here at this point. So that's not going to fly. Let's look at change in NASDAQ on the day. Not going to do a whole lot either. S&P change on the day. Yeah, you know. Yeah. Just not finding what I'm looking for here. A 1 minute VWAP? Well, VWAP's just VWAP, right? I mean, it doesn't, the time frame is irrelevant unless you're using anchored VWAP from a specific candle. VWAP's just a continuous run. Like, for example, if we come into indicators, right, and I select VWAP, you don't get a period on VWAP, right? There's no period to select on VWAP like you would an SMA or an EMA. So if you're just looking for a VWAP cross, the best way to do that would be to you come into the configure and you're going to want to use, depending on you're looking for a cross up or down, I would say, the running up alerts or the running alerts up and down, right? And then you'd want to look also maybe at a 5-minute high. So I'd add a couple of those different alerts into the window. And then with filters, I'd look for this distance from VWAP1 and add that filter. And then I'd bracket it in with, like, let's say a minus 0.25 and a 0.25 here, so that you're a rate hovering in the VWAP. And then you'll see things that are at the cross or just across, either just before the cross, just at the cross, or just after the cross. The VWAP cross alerts here, all right, so first they work on 15-minute candles. So you got to wait for a 15-minute candle to close when the VWAP happens. And then there's a built-in volume qualifier in it. Until that qualifier is met, the alert also will not come through on top of the candle closing. So there's no way to take that out. There's the workaround is what I was just sharing with you. So I wouldn't use those. I would use the method that I was just sharing. Here's a video on that specifically, as a matter of fact. And that video goes over just what I was showing you there. So again, what I would do is I'd be looking at the running alerts. You're looking at a cross up, you're using the running ups. If you're looking at a cross down, you're looking at the running downs. And then you have 5-minute high or low. Again, are you going up or are you going down, right? That's what I'd select. And then again, I would use the VWAP, the distance from VWAP1. And add that filter. And I'd be giving it that value in here. Or you could tighten it up, right? You could tighten it up to 1.5, minus 1.5 and 0.15. So yeah, it's not necessarily a 15-minute candle, but when the cross happens, the current 15-minute candle needs to close to get the alert. That's what it's looking for. But I would use this workaround instead. That's how I would do it if I was looking at any kind of cross. By the way, but I was doing an SMA cross or a VWAP cross. And no, we don't have EMAs, so if we did, that's how I would do the EMA cross. But we do not have EMAs, unfortunately, for scanning. Sure, I can open that. So, I mean, you haven't really crossed VWAP much today. You haven't crossed VWAP. Other than the open, you haven't crossed VWAP today. You crossed VWAP here, you touched it here, and then you crossed it down here, and you're just kind of hovering on it at this point. So there's not really much of a cross on VWAP there. right on the market open here, this first 1 minute candle. I mean, I don't know that you necessarily call it a cross at this point. You know what I mean? Like, what? You know, it came up to meet because of the movement off that open with the volume and the price action. You know, that open jacked the VWAP to here, and it kind of followed the candle, or the candle pushed it that high, and then it continued to push up afterwards. The default, again, the VWAP is just VWAP. There's no period to VWAP. There's no, again, here, indicators, VWAP. There's no period on VWAP. See how there's no period there? VWAP doesn't get a period. SMA gets period. EMA gets period. RSI gets period. Right? Bollinger Bands, you get a period. VWAP, no period. VWAP just runs. That's it. It goes. So we have that's called an AVWAP. It's anchored from a specific point. You come to the search. View distance from, and you look for, you have, so this is VWAP. This is just VWAP. That's it. VWAP 1 is just the VWAP. There's no period on this. It's VWAP, no period. This is anchored from yesterday. This is anchored from the day before yesterday, anchored from 3 days ago, and anchored from 4 days ago. And that's it. Those are the only options. No going back 5 days. The 5 is really 4 days prior because today's included. Yes, VWAP is just, it's, no, VWAP is just a continuous run. It's not a current day. It's not anyone past. It's a current run. It's just price times volume divided by volume. It's the current price times the current volume divided by the volume. Investopedia for you. Correct. Ripman, I have a question on layouts. I have two saved layouts. Is there a way to open both of them? They're docked layouts. So kind of there is, but I would, depending on the size of those, recommend not doing that. There's a reason why we only allow for one layout at a time. And it's because, you know, it will cause your, it's likely to cause your computer issues if your layout is too large. You won't be able to use the software. Your ping will shoot through the roof and everything will be sluggish. But in theory, yes, you could use two. This is how you would do it. I guess we're all done with the back testing here. Move these things around. You would go File, Save or Share to Cloud. Do not, I repeat, do not click Entire Layout. Click check marks in the windows you want saved. All right, whichever ones you want saved. Then label it here, name it here, and press Save. And then you load the other layout and do the exact same thing. Put the check marks in the stuff you want, save it, and then you would go File, Load from Cloud, and both those items will be here, and you could load both those items like that. Just note, you know, if you get a lot of top lists in there and a bunch of charts and alert windows are flying with alerts all over the place, you're likely to run yourself into a technical issue. As I often tell people, the retail software, it has limitations, and if you attempt to push the limits, you will find them and probably find some unpleasant results with that. Yes, use the distance from VWAP filter and bracket price in there. That's the best way. There's a video that I showed that goes over this in great detail for you. I'll share that video again. It covers this exact topic specifically. There's no refresh of the filter with an alert window. It's just an alert. Your filters have to be met with the alert event, and you get a time-stamped alert saying, bang, this stock did what you told me to look for. And then, Ripman, if you can let me know what I just went over made sense, that covered what you were looking for. And you are welcome, Andrew. If it was configured in a way that would get it, yes, you would have gotten it. You have to have need to have configured it. I have to ask, why are you so fixated on TSN right now? I'm just curious. I'm sure there's other stocks that, you know, had VWAP crosses today, and probably 100 or more. So I'm curious what the fixation on TSN is, just out of curiosity. I got it. Missed alert. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see if we can't find it. So running up will not worked. Running up intermediate would have worked. Nope. Yeah, would have been a tough one to find off the open here. So if you'd used a new high, you'd have gotten it. You would have needed a new high. This is, where you'd be living just by having this VWAP filter like that, pinning it in for the cross, and new high would have got it here for that. But off the open in that first minute, if it's not meeting any of these alerts, you're not going to get it. So you've got to make sure it meets an alert like that. So that's why I was mentioning, if you're going to do this, and I cover it in the video, bracket it in here, and then you're going to want to have a few different bullish alerts in here. No, new high is just every time there's a new high print and the filters are met. Every time there's a new high on the day and all the filters are met, you get the alert. None of these other alerts that I've gone over wait for a candle to close. They just are what they are. And you can always right click an alert on the icon for help on what it does. You could also just select it here and go help. The same with the running up alerts or running family in general. Select it, press help, and it'll tell you what it's doing. That is correct. You'd see what you would have saw in real time with the history. Oops. And we got a couple of minutes left here. If anybody has any questions, don't be shy. Get those in, please. We got a couple of minutes left here, folks. So come on with the questions before I wrap up for the day here. I did, Rip, man. I did answer it right when you asked it. I did answer it. Can you hear me? Let's start with that before I go back to it again. Can you hear me? Okay. So I'll try this again. Technically, yes, you can open multiple layouts, but we design the software to not allow people to do it easily because opening multiple layouts will usually cause the user issues that it overloads their computer. All right. So there's a reason why it's designed the way it is to not open multiple layouts. But if you'd like to give it a try, you're welcome to, and I'll go over those steps to do it. What you would do is load layout 1, all right? And then you go to File, Save or Share to Cloud, and you would put check marks in whatever the items are that you want to load with the other layout. And then you would give it a name here, and you would save it. Do not press entire layout. Do not press this. Do not press that. Just put check marks and whatever it is you're looking to carry over with the other layout. Press save. Then load the other layout, File, Save or Share to Cloud, and put check marks once again in all the items that you want carried over to be combined, right? And save that. Then I would close all the windows with the exception of the menu bar here. I would get rid of everything except the menu bar. Leave just that. Every other window is closed. You could even use this, close all under Windows. Then I would go File, Load from Cloud, load one of those conglomerates that you saved, right? That'll load. And then File, Load from Cloud, load the second conglomerate, and they will all be open together. What I had said before is that we are retail software. There are limitations with the software, and if you push them, you will find them. The limitations aren't textbook in the sense that, if you have 5 top lists open and they don't have a lot of columns and they're not using a lot of filters and the record counts are low, you'll have no issues. If you have 5 top lists open and you're using 25 columns on each one with 1,000 record counts on each one, you're going to have problems. They're both 5 top lists, but they're not equal as 5 top lists. So, keep these things in mind when you're going to do all that. You got it. Is there a way to get a set of filters based on a stock symbol? I don't know exactly what you mean. A set of filters based on a stock symbol. I'm going to guess you want something like our stocks like this page. Let me look this up here. So this is called our stocks like this page. I'm going to share a link to this. We'll end on this here. And in the stocks like this page, I could type in TSN, right? And I'll leave it on March 31st because that's what we want. We want to be open at 9:30, and it's going to go 9:30 to 9:35. That's the duration, 5 minutes. It's the smallest. If I press submit, this is every single alert that would have triggered on that open during that 5 minutes. It doesn't mean it would have been in the first minute. It's during those 5 minutes. All right. And these are the filters, minimum and maximum values over that 5 minutes as well. Every filter basically that we have is there. So you could technically back engineer to build a scan with this page here. They're docked layouts. So, I mean, you could take the layout. All right, so here's a docked window. Right click the top of the docked window, save or share to cloud, and just save it as a dock. Again, do not press entire layout. Just save the dock, right? As long as everything is in the dock, save the dock, and then you can open them both like that. So you could do that right now. Yeah, so, you know, that's a way to reverse engineer a scan. Here's what I'll tell you, though, what happens to 100 out of 100 people I show this to. Even after I tell them, they end up doing this. You can select whatever you want in this, obviously, and use how you want. But if you try to dial in the filters exactly the same as what's in here during all that, the odds of another stock doing exactly what this did here are 0%. And so if you dial it in too much, too fine with the filters, too many filters, and the values too precise, you'll never get another alert again. You'll be emailing us, why am I not getting any alerts? And I'll say, because you didn't listen to me when I said the stock's like this page. So, you know, pick a few alerts in here that'll make sense for you. Take a few filters, broaden out the minimum and maximum values a bit, right? So for example, you know, where are you? The distance from VWAP, right? You got minus 0.2 and 1.3, all right? So maybe you start with, you know, minus 0.5 and minus 0.5 and 1.5 and start there. Broaden out because you want data to come into the scan at the beginning. Once you see data coming in, you can then refine it afterwards to say, okay, what can I do to eliminate these alerts that I didn't like? So it's just that people all of a sudden they get this and they think, oh, well, I'm just going to make a scan that's exactly like what this shows with the filters here. And then it'll alert me every time a stock does what that stock did. And there'll never be another stock to do exactly what that did again. Not exactly. So it's a powerful tool, but it's one of those ones, just like, I don't know if you've ever heard of curve fitting, which is an over optimization on back test, meaning that the back test looked great when we finished it up today. And in 10 days from now, the back test looks terrible because those new 10 days worth of data don't run well in the current environment, unfortunately. Go, no go, and TradeWave are two completely different things. TradeWave is just included with your subscription. The go, no go is an add-on. So the TradeWave is this here. These buys and sells, those little arrow flag things or whatever. The go, no go is this on these charts. And the go, no go has a fairly significant set of scans in the Market Explorer. You got those scans in the Market Explorer for go, no go. And TradeWave, you just have these 3 scans, and that's it. And they're all buys. So they're two completely different things. They probably have some similarities behind the algorithms that, you know, detect the go and no go and the buy and the sell, but they're not the same thing. Go, no go is an add-on. TradeWave is included. So, all right, folks, we are at the top of the hour. If there's any last minute question, I will answer those. Otherwise, I'm going to prepare to wind myself out of here to get back to other duties at the desk. Open it up for any last minute questions here. I'll give you the silent auctioneer's count in my head. You got it, Mike C. Good to see you always. You are welcome, Andrew. Very happy to help. Yep, every day at noon Eastern. There's a different person here most of the days. One of us repeats one day. I'm usually always Mondays. Tuesday can be a mix. Wednesday is our CEO, Dan. Thursdays are generally Steve, and Fridays are generally Andy. So, yep, but 5 days a week, market days. You know, if market's closed on a Monday or whatever it is, you won't find anybody here, obviously. That is how we run things here. There's also the live traders room. You're not in the live traders room. You get a lot of stuff answered there too. It's not an open forum necessarily like this, but you can throw questions in there. Barry will help you best he can. When I say best he can, it's because he has other things that are going on in the room. So where Barry knows the software, I'd say quite well in and out, and he can help with a lot of stuff for sure. So, all right, thank you, folks. We're going to shut down now, and you all have a wonderful rest of your Monday. Odds are I may see you again tomorrow, but we will see. You never know. Take care, and we will see you on the next one. Bye-bye.